From the Hawk-Tua meme to creepy haunted dolls, Smiling Friends loves to make references to the internet and the many IRL memes that it's produced, with this definitely being seen in Season 2's Brother's Egg, as the boss calls Pim and Charlie into his office with the request to make none other than Jared Fogle smile.
You two now have the privilege of helping the one, the only, Jared Fogle, the subway guy.
And of course, with Jared Fogle being the infamous Subway spokesperson turned horrible predator, Charlie and Pim naturally get really uncomfortable. And when the boss reveals that it was actually Glep under the mask the entire time, Pim and Charlie, in a rare moment, actually stand up to their boss.
Oh, come on, guys. It was funny. The costume, come on.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not, dude. I did not find that funny. I have a line with that kind of stuff. I don't find that stuff funny. No.
Which, honestly, yeah, this was pretty messed up from the boss. However, our next IRL reference gets even darker, with this being the infamous case of the Bjork stalker, which, if you didn't know, involved a 21-year-old Uruguayan American man stalking and eventually sending a letter bomb to Icelandic singer Bjork, before he then unalived himself, all on a recorded videotape. And so, how do Smiling Friends tackle this extremely touchy subject? Well, in the Season 1 episode Enchanted Forest, Tim and Charlie are introduced to a seemingly pleasant forest creature named Mip, who promises to take them both on a grand adventure to the princess.
So, what are you seeing the princess for?
Mip has but one quest. Find a hero worthy enough of delivering this package to the princess. Mip crafted it himself.
However, as the episode unravels, so does Mip's intention, as the potion that he gives Charlie to heal up ends up being poison, and Mip then also dies, just like the Bjork stalker in real life, before it's discovered that the package that Mip wanted Pim and Charlie to deliver to the princess was actually a package bomb intended to kill her.
The whole time?
Which, I mean, boy, this was a pretty on-the-nose reference. And our next IRL Smiling Friends reference might not be as dangerous, but it certainly makes up for that in its creepiness. As in the Season 2 Halloween episode The Boss Finds Love, there's a rather creepy doll that can be found at the back of Charlie's apartment. And of course, if you've ever been on any dark corners of the internet, then you'll most certainly know about Tara the android, aka the I Feel Fantastic doll, with this video originally being uploaded in 2004 by John Bergeron, and then being deleted and re-uploaded in 2009, where it would become instantly viral for just how insanely creepy it is. And Smiling Friends does a fantastic job of parodying this video, as Alan, Pim, and even Charlie himself remark on how creepy this doll is, with the ultimate payoff of the jump scare mirroring many internet theories that Tara the android was actually alive and killed her original owner. However, swiftly moving on, in this very same episode, once Charlie and Pim have finally defeated the boss's evil wife Brittany.
Side, thanks for breaking me out of that curse.
Last thing I remember, she was sucking the soul right out of my asshole.
Out of your asshole?
Well, then the boss decides to serenade all of the Smiling Friends with a song, which, as you can tell by all of the faces of the Smiling Friends, is just incredibly uncomfortable.
I know 4 employees that I just adore. I'm so happy I can see them more.
And this song is actually an incredibly brilliant reference to the politician Carly Fiorina, who, if you didn't know, was Ted Cruz's running mate in the 2016 presidential election and attempted to win over some voters with this incredibly cringe-inducing lullaby that she would sing to her children.
I know 2 girls that I just adore. I'm so happy I can see them more.
And of course, let me know who you think did it better, the boss or Carly Fiorina. And carrying on, our next IRL reference in Smiling Friends is, of course, none other than Chris Chan, who, it's fair to say, the showrunner Zach Hadel has quite the fascination with. From frequently mentioning him on Oni Plays, to even admitting that he tried to get Chris Chan to play the talking puddle in Season 1 Simon S. Salty episode.
He was gonna voice originally the grease puddle from the Salty episode, and he was supposed to just have 2 lines. He was supposed to just go, I could have done it, you know, I'm grease, I could have done it.
So, it came as absolutely no surprise to anyone when, in the Season 3 opening episode, we saw this clip of the boss reacting to the building inspector in an incredibly panicked manner.
Do you realize something? If we fail this inspection, we could lose our office and we'd have to move out of it.
With this being a direct callback to an infamous viral clip of Chris Chan, in which Chris is making excessive noise in his bedroom, with his father then confronting him by telling him that if he doesn't stop, that the entire family could be kicked out of their house.
Do you realize something? Let me tell you, if the health department of Greene County sees those videos, they could condemn our house and we would have to move out of it.
And honestly, I'm sure that this won't be the last time that we see a Chris Chan reference in Smiling Friends. However, our next IRL reference in Smiling Friends is a lot goofier, with this coming all the way back in Season 1 Shrimp's Odyssey, when Pim is trying to find Shrimp's girlfriend, but has to wait his turn at the coffee shop because a customer is making a very specific order.
Number 15. Could I get the number 15?
And of course, if you've ever been on the internet, then you will most certainly have heard this sound, which comes from the Top 15's YouTube channel, as he describes in his incredibly monotonous voice, quite possibly the funniest sentence in human history.
Number 15. Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you'd want in your Burger King burger is someone's foot fungus, but as it turns out, that might be what you get.
Which, despite just being a 3-second gag, always makes me appreciate just how tapped into the internet Michael Cusack and Zach Hadel are, which is again clearly seen with their countless references to the Unabomber, with this first being witnessed in the Season 2 presidential episode when Mr. Frog is competing against the absolutely useless Jimble, who immediately crashes the economy with his stupid plans.
Dude, check the news. It doesn't matter what channel.
And it's after this point that Mr. Frog tries to steal the election by suggesting new economic reforms. However, when we look at Charlie's phone, these reforms are literally just the Unabomber manifesto. And this isn't even the only time that the Unabomber manifesto is referenced in Smiling Friends, as in the Season 2 Spamtopia episode, once the boss and Pim leave for Spamtopia, Charlie and Alan are left in charge of the boss's son, which, let's just say, doesn't exactly go too well.
Yeah, well, it happened. What happened?
I don't know.
And it's during this panic that Charlie looks in the boss's drawer for anything that could possibly help his baby. However, this is when he sees the boss's manifesto, which looks eerily similar to the Unabomber manifesto. And when Charlie calls the boss out on this, he never gets a straight answer.
I found these documents at your desk called My Manifesto, and I read a little bit, and I'm just wondering, what is that? Why would you write something like that?
Sorry, I can't hear you over the dust. The dust is making it hard for me to hear you.
And speaking of never getting a straight answer, our next IRL reference in Smiling Friends is the assassination of JFK, which we see at the start of Season 3's Mole Man episode, when Charlie, who is of course very much into his conspiracies, is talking with Pim about the suspicious death of President Shrimp, who is of course the show's stand-in for JFK.
Wait, dude, just tell me, explain to me, how did the magic bullet go through President Shrimp's head, into the governor in front of him, then into the driver to the left of him, then behind him into his wife, and then back into President Shrimp's head? Explain that to me, man.
I don't know. I don't like to think about that stuff, Charlie.
And the thing I love most about this reference is just how absurd they make the conspiracy. And our next IRL reference also focuses on politics, with this one coming in the season 2 president episode after Mr. Frog is finally catching up to President Jimbo in the polls, and they have one final debate to try and win over voters.
Mr. Frog, why are you so evil? You have 1 second to respond.
Hello, Time's up, plus you're wrong. The next question is for our beloved and highly intelligent president. Why are you so amazing?
And of course, everything from the background to the incredibly biased moderating is a direct parallel to the 2016 presidential debates, where Donald Trump would infamously bash moderator Megyn Kelly for cutting him off several times and also seemingly favoring Hillary Clinton.
So she's allowed to do that, but I'm not allowed to respond.
You're going to get to respond right now.
That sounds fair. Wants to allow.
And why did it morph into that? No, did you? No, answer the question.
Why
do you still believe?
You
I
interrupt
do.
me all the time. Why don't you
Would
interrupt
you
her?
please?
And so, before we get onto our final IRL reference, our honorable mention goes to Channel Awesome, who we see in the season 2 Halloween episode when Pim, Charlie, and Alan are trying to figure out how to defeat the boss's evil wife, and so they simply look up a YouTube tutorial on how to do so.
Now we'll never find out how to vanquish the evil demon.
I just found out how to vanquish the evil demon on YouTube.
Hello, I'm Daniel the Demon Slayer. I slay demons so you don't have to.
With this honestly being one of my favorite IRL Smiling Friends references, as not only is it incredibly cool to see an OG YouTuber getting some mainstream television love, but this cameo is also brilliantly funny, with the show poking fun at both YouTube sponsorship reads, as well as YouTubers who always ask you to like and subscribe.
Now don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that.
But I mean, hey, I am trying to get to 150,000 subscribers, so if you could like and subscribe, that would be very cool. And so, our final IRL reference in Smiling Friends is a big one. In fact, it's dozens of IRL references all rolled up into one. You see, at the end of season 3's Mr. Frog episode, when Mr. Frog finally achieves enlightenment, we then witness his entire life flashing before his eyes. And if you stop and freeze at any of these frames, from Mr. Frog appearing on Joe Rogan High, which of course is a nod to Elon Musk, to going on a tirade at the Laugh Factory, just like Kramer did in November 2006, and even hitting the Jeb Bush flawless victory pose. However, by far the most talked about IRL reference from this scene is Mr. Frog linking arms with a certain New York financier, which many fans of the show have speculated means that canonically Mr. Frog was on the Epstein list. And so, this is every IRL reference in Smiling Friends. And of course, let me know in the comments which did you think is the funniest. Oh, and as always, stay safe, stay happy, stay sassy.